MS Live. Okay. I want to talk a little. Hi, Paul. Hi. All right. I want to talk a little bit about uh, pain. What is the worst kind of pain we feel? You don't realize it until you're laying in bed, and all of a sudden, it with me, it's not the weaker leg; it's the stronger leg. I guess doing so much pole vaulting to swing the left leg around, it ends up there's a difference. Is it spasticity or is it restless leg syndrome? All right, and it's important to know. It's important to know that. So, what is the difference? What is the difference? Okay, spasticity is usually takes place in your weaker leg or your weaker spasticity is a result of weakness. So you'll have two opposing muscles, like your hamstrings and your quadriceps on the front of your thigh and then the back of your thigh firing at the same time. What happens when they fire at the same time? Uh, Both the front and the back muscle, well, the knee doesn't know what to do, right? Because one overpowers the other one and it jets out and it locks out. It becomes a tree trunk. So when we're laying in bed, uh, we have to bend our knee and grab that knee, which is the hard to get it to bend. All right, that is a pain in the butt. A lot of people, when they're first diagnosed with MS, describe it as being so painful. But I'll tell you what, I didn't know MS pain before I had restless leg syndrome, and I kept treating it with more and more baclofen. I kept thinking maybe I need tizanidine, maybe I need Valium, maybe and the doctors did write these prescriptions, but guess what? It didn't help. And finally, it was a nurse practitioner that said, you need ropinirol. Ropinirol it works with that restless leg syndrome, and what it does is it calms it down. Uh, um, it calms it down. So what happens? What it feels like is, to me, it feels like a spring is being uh, pushed down that good leg, and all of a sudden it's gonna move. And it it hurts. It feels like there's something inside of that ankle, and I'll tell you, the only thing that works is taking that ropinirol, and I have to take it during the day. This morning I got up and I felt it. Hi, Andrew. It's good to see you. All right. I'm getting people. So there's a difference between a restless leg syndrome and spasticity. And a lot of us, what number one, we with MS, we mistake, and so many neurologists mistake. Hi, D. So many neurologists mistake. And Susan, did you get messed up because I set up the stream on YouTube? I set up the stream, and then I hi Brandy. I did end stream instead of go live, and I do this every time, and I set it up early every time. Every time. Yeah, it's like Finding Nemo, Finding Dulci. Where is she? Silly, silly. So today we're talking about the difference between restless leg syndrome and spasticity. Uh, so I, because and it's so important that we understand that so we're treating the right symptom. If you don't know, like they say that death of wisdom isn't ignorance, right? Because we get we're given the diagnosis of MS and we're it's not ignorance. If we don't know the question to ask, right? It's ignorance of ignorance. How can they possibly answer it? Right? How can they answer it? So we have to know the question to ask. So put this in your book of questions. When you're in pain, if it's because your weaker leg is spastic, all right? Spastic would be two different muscles on opposing sides locking out at the same time, and now you got a tree trunk. It won't bend. It won't. That is spasticity, right? No amount propinerol is going to calm it down. Nobody is. It's not going to calm it down. Back in the 80s, you had to go down to a library and get medical books and kind of look this up. And that's old school. I used to do that. Karen used to do that. I don't know if you used to do that, Susan, but Gina did. But so you have to know this, right? Back then they didn't know trigeminal neuralgia was associated with MS. They didn't know that. They didn't know that. Gina's in the house. All right. Yeah, I just did you hear me mention your name? Is it finding Dulci today? Because someday I'm gonna hit go live, and it's actually gonna go live. But so we have to name our pain. We have to so write down on a piece of paper, is it real or is it Memorex? All right. Am I feeling stiff? Stiff is spasticity. When things are too stiff, you take Baclofen, Tizanidine, Valium, even give you Xanax. But anything that kind of relaxes muscles helps with spasticity. Botox injections in one your stronger muscle, just to weaken it. Hi, Dennis. Uh, so, uh, so Dennis, today we're talking about restless leg syndrome versus spasticity. So you take medication Hi, Betty Joe. Uh, right. And Gina says that Hi Jane. Restless like Gina is saying spasticity is everywhere. Spasticity can happen in your hand. Uh, it just it locks down. Of course, you know what, Gina? I got to tell you that I've had restless. I've had that feeling like ugh, ugh. Hi, Jane. I like that. No, no. Now, you know what? It restless leg syndrome. The way the way it has been described. Uh, Good. Betty Joe's trying to join us on YouTube. Just like you know. Anyway, yeah. And Jane gets leg cramps. Leg cramps. And I wonder, Jane? Do you get leg cramps because number one thing we don't like to do when we have MS, we don't want to stretch. We don't want to. We, I was so hoping that you know what, we got to stretch. Leg cramps happen because uh, we've learned to rely on our spasticity for strength. If that leg is going to lock out, our brain says, "Oh, we can use this." Yeah, I'm so sorry, Jane. And they're sore. Uh, Massage. There is Epsom salt spray or magnesium spray that you can, you know what? So hot compresses in in warm water, right? And put it on the muscle. Yes, yes, that's good. Jane, does that work? So does it work? Okay, does it work? Now the way that restless leg syndrome feels is it is typically described as the feeling like you have ants crawling around your ankle or around your leg, and all of a sudden you got to kick off the bugs. It's like you can handle it, you can handle it, you can handle it. It's like resist, and all of a sudden you got to shake your leg. All of a sudden, in fact, you don't shake your leg decides it's going to shake itself on its own. It's going to move. It's going to it's me, I describe it as like a spring. You're holding down a spring. You're holding it down. You're holding it down, right? You're holding down the spring, and all of a sudden your thumb gets terribly tired, right? All of a sudden you're holding it down, and bam, it's like bam, it just moves on its own, right? Ropinirol, write that down. So that is different. And Sarah says uh, massage helps with her spasticity. Uh, so I think Jane's saying that she does the black seed oil. You know, Jane, you are gonna. That's what's so awesome about this forum because the pains that we each have with this disease, the difficulties we have, we need to share together. All right, so I'm going to read something. I, I took notes. Um, I don't like doing journals. So I did, every time I do a journal, I read back years later and I don't like the person I was, so I throw out the journal. But I found a couple pages I wrote down. And I want to read this to you because, uh, yeah, you know what? And Gina is talking about spasticity is constant. Uh, Restless leg happens when at night when your legs move involuntarily. And it's true when you're done walking around, you sit down for the you sit down. All right, somebody is getting a huge amount of soil delivered. All right, so I'm gonna read this. All right, when I was first diagnosed with MS and newly married, I was so angry and frustrated with every exacerbation that I was hard to be around because nobody could meet the needs as I saw fit. I had so many needs. Mm, mm. All right, I will. I'm going to answer that. All right, so I had needs. So when I was, hi Brandon. Um, so I had so many needs, right? I had just some, but nobody was going to help me. Nobody was going to help me solve the problems I had. In Matthew 11:28, come to me. I only found my peace with this disease uh, um, when I stopped looking for love in all the wrong places. Yeah. And Brandon, it's great. Have you been diagnosed? Chris is in the house. All right, so real quick. All right. Jane asked, yeah, it is, Chris. Chris, go to YouTube. There's two. Uh, yeah, you. All right, here we go. Here we go. Jay wanted to know if there's any tips for people with vertigo when they go in MRI machine. And 100%. I have vertigo all the time. Like I walk with a walker because I don't know which way is up. So it is imperative when you lay back, all right, is you have your head and you keep your eyes closed. You got to keep your eyes closed. Uh, that's my tip. Keep your eyes closed when you lay back. You have to. Have you practiced that at home? Also, meditating. So you put your head back and you deep breathe and you practice that. You've got to pre-practice, right? Life is training when you have MS. Uh, so you fight with it. You fight. I published something I shouldn't. All right. And Brandy is saying, do facilitations go along with anyone's spasticity in their legs? Mine are horrible. What do you mean by facultations go along? I don't know. All right, Brandon and Brandy, we got two new people. Yeah, and Chris. You know what, Jane? But practice that because we're in training, right? I've had MS. In fact, my gym just highlighted me. Bel Air Athletic. If you're on Facebook, go to my page and you'll see. I have to laugh. I have to laugh at that. Everything is everything requires stretching. Everything requires muscle balance. Uh, everything. And Brandy, involuntary muscle movements nonstop. You know what? It sound. You know what? It sounds like. Could it be Restless Leg Syndrome? It sounds. If it's like when you're sitting there and you try to shake off bugs or the spring. Yes, that's restless leg syndrome. All right, she says involuntary muscle movements nonstop, like having an animal in your legs trying to get up. Yes, 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 yes. That's it. I love it. And it is painful. Oh my gosh, it's miserable. And you know what? You don't know spasticity, not being able to bend your knee it's easy. It's pain in the butt. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, everybody sit around. Let's wait until my knee. You know what? I went to an opera one time. Chris is in the house. I went to sit down in one of these movie chairs. My legs spasticity locked out. I fell back, and guess what my leg tried to do? Like a crowbar, the seat. It slid under the seat in front and it tried to lift it up. My leg was going to break before it lifted up. Uh, all right. You know what? There's two YouTube streams going on. Uh, it's the second one. Go to my go to Dulci Hell on YouTube and look at the channel. Betty Joe, jump in. All right, we want Betty Joe here. Uh, so Brandy, that is the difference. That's the difference. All right, when I fell off a bike, all right, it was stupid. I did something stupid because I got more guts and sense. When I fell off the bike, I broke my leg up to my knee vertically. Why did I do that? Because only people with MS when we fall, you're supposed to bend and roll. You're supposed to bend and roll. All right, Chris says, Buddy Joe, go to live. If you go to live, all right. So, hi, Sharon. So, all of a sudden, that's painful. I broke my leg because my knee didn't bend when I fell off, and I landed on a straight leg, and it broke. Only people with MS can break bones vertically, right? Why does that happen? Because it doesn't bend. It locks out. It does. The muscles are so strong. When you have restless leg syndrome, Brandy described it perfectly. It's like having an animal. It's like a wild animal is trying to get out, insisting on getting out, and you're sitting there, especially at night, at the end when you're sitting down, you're all comfortable and you're reading your book and you're on the couch, and all of a sudden the animal comes alive. So it's called ropinol, Ropinole. So you have to, yay! Betty's in there. Betty Joe. Finally. I love that. You made the jump. Sharon, Jane, you guys, if you got any of you people on Facebook, if you want to make the jump, go to Dulci Hill on YouTube and go to live and jump in. All right, jump in. Let's see. All right, so have I answered your questions? Now with the vertigo and the MRI, I've got it all the time. Thank you for the thumbs up. I got it all the time, right? And what we're supposed to do, all right, is practice. Look at this. Practice closing your eyes and turn left. Look at me sway left, forward, left, up, forward, down, forward. All right, so you got to do this twice, right? You have to do it with and you're supposed to do it when you're standing up. Jane! Jane, I love it. I love it. She made the jump. Jane, you're on YouTube. You know, I would do this on Facebook because so many people watch that. But when you guys make the jump over to YouTube and talk to each other and talk to you guys support the chat is so awesome, and I love that. You know, it's true, and Gina says there's nothing graceful about MS or falling, and I will let you know. I rode my bike. It's about 3 weeks ago to the gym. And you know the problem is that those of us with attention deficit disorder, we need to ride the bike and look where we're going. I was riding the bike. I felt a trike, right, and it's got electric motor. It's called Liberty Trike. But I went down to the pool with it. So when I was coming back, I was watching some teenagers, and my bike went towards the street, went off the curb, the whole bike fell over. I fell, still trying to overcome this, oh my gosh, I fell. So these teenagers came over, these folks, and they helped me up, and I gave me each a bookmark, and I don't know how much I'm telling you what. So the note to everyone is that when you've had MS a long time, You stop being angry at the things you can't control, and you start looking around at those that help you. Uh, where's our blessings? Because God says, "Come to me, all you weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble. In my heart you will find rest for your souls. My yoke is easy and my burden is light." And that's Matthew 11, chapter 11, verse 28 through 30. And it's so important that we do that. We recognize, uh, I we recognize that forcing love where we think it should come from is not going to make that happen, right? If as people age, they fall over, they lay there, right? There is a lanyard you can get with your phone. You can walk around. When you fall, I was wearing nice. In fact, I'm going to show you. These are my nice pants, and I was wearing them yesterday, and I decided I was going to paint some holes in the wall that we got. You know what? And the vertigo was really bad, and the restless legs and everything was really bad. I had gone beyond. So at 7 o'clock at night, I'm trying to paint the holes. In fact, you'll see a line on the back door. I don't know if you can see that line. I got to do some painting in here. 100%, I'll get it all over. So what happened? I fell, right? My husband was at the, doing something in the kitchen, and I'm crawling like a green beret, and I'm crawling into the bedroom on the hardwood floors and dragging myself. And then because it hurts your knees, you can't get up, right? So I'm dragging myself in, and I do a push up, and I grab a grip bar on my bed and my bed, and I'm able to stand up. All right, it took me 15 minutes, but let me tell you something. When you fall in public, I fell in public. I fell off my bike. I rolled down into a busy street. I'm thinking, there's no way if somebody's going to drive over me, uh, they're going to run me over because I was spastic. What happens when you fall, right? What happens? Everything gets locked out. So these teenagers are like, how do you help? How can we help you? I said, well, I got to bend my legs. Somebody's going to pick me up by my armpits behind. And so I'm telling people how to do that. I have gone to Aldi's. I've gone to grocery stores. Falling in public is a wonderful thing because people get so upset and they come over and they help you. And it's so important. Hi, Cindy. By the way, Cindy, I think after this, I think I'm going to go to the pool and swim today. And maybe at 2 o'clock. So I reserved 2 and 3. I reserved. So I would love to see you. I would love to see. I'm feeling better now. Uh, so I will say that when I went to the grocery store, I came out. My walker got away with me from me. I had, in fact, love you, Cindy. Love you. Cindy is my buddy at the gym, and she's a very sweet friend, and she takes such good care of me. And let me tell you something. God provides all of us with lifeguards. And Cindy, thank you for being my blessing. Oh my gosh. She's helped me put my walker in the car. She's helped. So I walked down to the grocery store. Let me tell you this. All right. And Cindy has caught me, and it's beautiful. When I went to trivia night, by the way, Hi, Ruth. Ruth is in the house. Nice. Ruth, you've got to jump over to YouTube so you can participate in the chat. So I'm coming out of all these. I've got all my groceries in bags. Uh, the walker gets around away from me. I've got no place to grab, so and vertigo, so I fall. I fall forward. Well, everybody's walking out. Everyone gets upset. My groceries are all over. So they pick me up. They get my groceries. The world's getting me. But the sweet lady who picked me up, what do when they don't know why you fell? They pick you up and they let you go. So she picked me up, she let me go. And I started falling again. I was like, falling again. And so she grabbed me around. Then she realized that, we got to get her a walker because this is not going to work. So she held me up. She held like a little kid. She put her hand around the air, and I stood there. It was like a safety belt. Oh my goodness. So yesterday, I had a rough time. I fell, and I'm crawling on my. And so it took me 15 minutes to stand up. Right, that oldies with all my groceries all over the place, with me falling down, almost falling down twice. Uh, Everybody there it was like a parade. Everybody in the community walked out to my car. They all turned into you, Cindy. They walked up and put the groceries in my car, got my walker in the car, got me in the car, closed the door. Off with you. I'm telling you what. 5 minutes. I mean, maybe six. All right. Yesterday, 15 minutes getting up on my own, falling in public instantly. I mean, I fall off the workout bench. Because you fall. You fall. And that's why we have to go to the gym. We have to, you know what? Mom got off the couch and walked across the room and she tripped over my walker and she, and she fell. But she's been going to the gym and she's been doing chest and tricep. Let me tell you something. She's 81 years old. She fell and her hands, I mean, she was black and blue, but her hands stopped her face from going into the floor. It was, we have to go to the gym. We have to go to the gym to get strong. We have to do push-ups. We have to work on our balance. We have to stretch. We have to do these things because the more we do these things, the more we don't get injured when we fall, and we are gonna fall. We're gonna fall. Gina says helping forces people to come out of their bubble and help. And it's true, it's true. It's so true. I made a mistake. This is years and years ago. I took my walker. There was it was a church function, and I took my walker, and there was only stairs to go up. I couldn't figure out where the disability area was. So I go up, and I'm looking at the stairs. And all right, the stone stairs. I got to pull up the walker and carry it up the stairs. When a man walked by me, ran up the stairs, opened the door, and stood there and watched. And an older woman walked by and asked me, "Can I carry your walker up the stairs?" I said, "I would love for you to do that." So we get up the stairs, and I'm gonna give that guy the what for. So I said to him, on all my years of having this disease, I, I had to come to church to be ignored, not to have somebody offer to help. Of all my years, what the heck was wrong with you? And he looked at me and he says, "I am so sorry." He says, "I was so afraid of saying something to you. I didn't want to overstep my boundary. Oh my goodness. As a Christian, I'm taught to think, what did I do wrong? So all of a sudden I realized he wasn't the jerk. I was the jerk. I was looking at him like he was an enemy, not trying to help me, right? Versus I didn't ask because guess what? 100% of the time, the difference is 100% of the time. It's true, 100%. I've never, when you ask people, just wait for the opportunity to be your angel. It is, no, only that. Only, he did hold the door. No, he was watching. What is she going to do? He's watching. And that was kind of sweet when you think about it. He's going to stand there and ask for the invite. It's funny. All right, so Ruth is going to see her doctor today. Would like a better spasticity. Tizanidine does not seem to help any longer. Uh, and we were talking about the difference between spasticity and restless leg syndrome. So and I assume you know the difference. I love what Jane. No, was it Jane? No, it was. All right. I love what she said. It's like the difference is it's not spasticity. The difference is that at night, if you feel like a wild animal is trying to get out of your legs, that is restless leg syndrome. If you spasticity, right? Because very little works for my spasticity. Next stage for me would be getting the Baclofen pump. The Baclofen pump is it puts Baclofen directly into your spine, so you can get a smaller dose. I can't take more, right? You get a smaller dose. It goes directly to your central nervous system. It affects the muscles. But I'll warn you, the problem with the Baclofen pump is that many of us rely on spasticity for strength. So you take that out. No, you know what? It's like I like the way Brandy had said it. It doesn't feel like bugs crawling inside my legs. Brandy, are you still with us? Awesome. You no. She said it's more like a wild animal trying to get out. I agree. I agree. Yes, that that describes my pain. Ants, ants, answer, ants, spasticity. All right, you got the log. Spasticity, a pain in the butt when you're laying in bed and you decide you got to get out of bed because you're going to go potty and your leg won't bend. So you're grabbing your left leg, you're grabbing your weak leg and you're trying to physically bend it. It uh, and Gina says it's a gerbil inside the leg, and I say no, I'm with Brandy. No, I got a wolf. In fact, it's not just a wolf; it's a rabid wolf inside. It's looking to kill a chicken that it perceives on the outside. Yeah, it's a wolf. It's a wolf. It's a red-tailed hawk in my leg. So you know what? And Ruth, that is what Brandy and what Gina, that's what everybody is saying. So Ruth says this only happens at night, the muscle spasm for her, right? Which I don't know. I don't know. It's an indicative. Restless leg syndrome only happens when you relax, right? When at the end of the day, when everything is going. All right. So Ruth, the progression of spasticity. We take baclofen, and you end up getting used to taking that the top amount of baclofen 40 times 120 milligrams. All right, Ruth does not have. All right, the progressive 120 milligrams is as high as you can take. It's too hard on your liver, so we all should be taking milk thistle. Again, Ruth, we're not doctors, and we're not going to diagnose each other, but all we can do is base our answers on what it feels for us. And I'm just reading what other people are saying. So so all right. So the progression, you top down on baclofen. Uh, you can switch to Xanadine. I didn't like the Xanadine because it made me so dark. So you can get used to baclofen. Some people get used to Xanadine. Some people turn to medical marijuana, which they say that works. Um, all right. So there's that. The third thing is if you go, you can get Botox. It's not the kind for wrinkles, but it's a different strain Botox, and the stronger of the two muscles. I I uh, uh, I like to say that pretend this is my thigh, all right? This is my quadricep and this is my hamstring, right? What we discovered is by most people, your quadricep is too strong uh, and your hamstring's weak. So what they do is you can go to a doctor who gives you a slight bit of Botox injections in your stronger, in your quadricep, right? It kind of relaxes that, and that's the next stage, and that will happen. That'll work for about 3 months, 4 months. So I bet Shiva. So anyway, that is the next step for spasticity, and the final step is the Baclofen pump, which the larger the container you put under your skin, or they surgically put, the less likely you have to have it filled every 3 4 months. I'm a swimmer, so and I'm pretty thin, so I'm just like, nah, not yet, not yet. Vanessa, all right. And Jane says, can I have told all family and friends? You know what? It's Jane the Great. You know what? I was divorced. Uh, Al started dating again, and I would just tell people. I put it out there because I didn't, when I realized that I'm not responsible for MS, it's not my fault, then all of a sudden I can't blame myself because you know what, you can't blame yourself. It's not your fault you have MS. Gosh, when we relinquish control over assuming responsibility for us getting this disease. Like Richard Pryor said, well, he smoked, he did crack, he did all. He said, I earned my disease. But if we don't, if we just acknowledge that it's, you know, All right. Ruth is asking for more suggestions for spasticity. So there's that. Oh my goodness. Okay. So no, no, no. Two symptoms that you need to bring to your neurologist. If you feel like a wild animal when you're sitting at night, when you're done, laundry, cooking, whatever you're doing, when you sit at night and you're starting to key down, all of a sudden uh, that wolf wants to come out. Wild animal, right? When that may not be restless leg syndrome, but it's likely. It's likely. It's hard though. It was on the date. You know what, Vanessa, and it goes back to and Brandy said her neurologist gives her Botox injection in her calf, shoulder, trap area, and it's amazing. So she says thank you, Brandy, for participating. So, and I've done that my legs, the Botox, and it works. Coworkers, they came to the surface. Yeah, it's true. You can tell them, or you can wait until it's obvious, right? You start walking. The minute you realize that it's not your fault, you need abilities. All right. All right. Ruth wants us to understand she doesn't have restless leg syndrome. But Ruth, we're not talking about you. We're talking about the difference between spasticity and restless leg syndrome. Again, you may want to talk to your neurologist about uh, specific ideas because everybody's throwing out how they treat spasticity, and it's what we covered already. Vanessa, Guy got it. You know what? It's not your fault. You have MS. It's not. It's not my fault. I have MS. You know what? I told, in fact, when I met my second husband, he was at this party. He was best looking guy there. Oh my God, he just was fit. Oh my gosh, he was so beautiful. So he comes over and he's gonna push me in the pool. It's a pool party, and I said, "Don't do that." He says, "Why not?" I said, "Two reasons. I just got my eyeliner tattooed, and I've had that. That's unfair, and I got a balancing problem. So you push, you get me, and this is before I didn't have a cane or anything in there. I just was walking. He's gonna push me in the pool. Nah, that's not gonna happen. Anyway, because it's not. All right, Vanessa is saying Ruth Botox shots. All right, Ruth, ask your neurologist about Botox shots. Next stage. So everybody is saying, everybody. I had it. It's just the progression. So that's how if you're convinced you have a name for your pain, and that's it, then that is what everybody says the progression is. Take it to your neurologist and get the truth because we're not doctors. Jane, Jane is in the house. Jane, the other Jane. Actually, we have three Janes. No, yeah, he's got brothers. He has five brothers, but one just died. No, nah, you know what? Nah, nah. But you know why I've discovered? let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. There's the community post. Somebody just emailed me and asked me if I was single. So I was at the gym, walking with my walker, talking to people, happy. I don't talk about MS because I don't care. All right. Anyway. Anyway, just talking about. Yeah. You just. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I completely lost my train of thought. I completely, all right. So, you know what? Oh, I know. So I'm at the gym and there was this guy who walks up. He's a little younger than me, probably 5 years. He walks up to me and he says, "Can I take you out for a drink?" All right? Can I take you out for a drink? So I'm sitting there. You guys saw me in my backyard and I can't. I was too weak to pay attention. Some neighbor came over and he says, "How you feeling, Dulci?" And I said, "Terrible." And he says, "Yeah, but you look good." And I said, I laughed. I laughed. I said, "It's true. It's true. You know what? Isn't that the most?" And I said, "Isn't that the most important thing? You, to look marvelous, whatever. What if we can look good?" I and I lie still, right? I remember as a joke, a misogynistic joke. Some of the guys at the gym that we were co-owners. One of them used to say, "How can I love you if you won't lie still?" Well, you know what? It's men don't care. A lot of men. If MS, if you release the bonds of owning this disease, others will come to you be based on your personality, based on who you are, not based on the fact that not based on the fact that you have a disease, because we don't have to have our friends and our family understand our disease in order to love us. And Ruth wants everybody to know. She says, "Have a great day." Uh, Hola, Dennis, buddy, so busy packing up. Wait. I thought you were. I thought you were in Costa Rica already, Jane. So you know what? Then there's another video, Jane, that says, "When do we use walking aids? When are we comfortable?" I remember using my cane for the first time. I was working. I did not want them to see me. I don't want anybody to see me with a cane. So I often, over the years, I've had so many people with MS ask me, "When do you use a walking aid? When? When do we?" And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you're tired of falling, you'll use a walking aid. It's the great equalizer. When you're in a scooter, your balancing problem, you when you cross the line from invisible symptoms to visible symptoms, they're all gonna know. Everybody's gonna. So you can wait and not tell anybody, or yeah, if they see you, like this guy. "Hi, Jim. If you see this, then you say, you know what? It's a mess. I'm not responsible for it. You're not responsible for it." Just like the only illness you're responsible for is type 2 diabetes. It's the only disease that, well, the alcoholism, cirrhosis of the liver, obesity. I can go on, but neurological diseases, you're not to blame. There's too many. Arthritis, you're not to blame. So we have to come together and help us. Hi, Tina. Uh, oh my goodness. So Jane just sold her house and she's about to go to Costa Rica. Uh, you know what? And Chris is saying we're the same person whether we use a walker, a cane, or it doesn't matter how you get to church or how you get to the gym. I, Bambi, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you get there, what you're using, whether you're using an AFO or hip flexor assisted device. It doesn't matter. People just want to see us. They want Ecuador. Why did I think Costa Rica? You're, anyway, they just want to see you. So, Dennis, are you getting in the water? I know I'm supposed to go to the water. I'm going to swim. Oh, baby, I just got a hug from Texas, and Texas rose, a yellow Texas rose. That is huge. All right, don't overdo it. Yeah, it's funny. It's so funny. I would say that, and then I go back and think about Betty Joe, who hikes all over the place. Now, you know what? Hi, Alan. So what do we have to do? All right, the topic today was spasticity versus restless leg syndrome. Know what to ask your neurologist. Know the difference because uh, it has been charted that 80% of people with MS will have restless leg syndrome at some point in their life. And I love what Brandy said. She described it perfectly. The difference is spasticity. It's when you have a lockout. Everything gets stiff. Spasticity is stiff, whereas restless leg syndrome is like a wild animal trying to get out of your body, and it's making it move on its own. So know the difference. There are two different medications or treatments for each. Ropinirole is the restless leg syndrome. It it's a different, that's something I'd stack up on because without ropinirole, it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. All right, so it's almost the top of the hour. So I want to say that I think this has been productive. Um, this has been productive. Be kind to yourself. It is so important. We have to be kind to ourselves and we have to let ourselves off the hook. It's not your fault that it's just not your fault. It's not your fault if you have MS. So it's not your fault. So many, if you got cancer, it's not your fault. And you know what? Yeah, you don't want to love me because I have MS. Well, I got there's better people than you. That's all right. It's not my fault. It's not my fault, and it's not your fault. And God makes too many great people out there, and I'll let you know they don't care if I have MS. They don't. They don't care I have MS. Then nurture your spirit and part, be an instrument of God's peace. Love other people. Get outside your own suffering. Get outside of your head, and just look being part of the solution. Anyway, let me pray us out. Thank you, Lord, for everybody who participated here today. Thank you for the love they have for each other and the things they use to describe what it feels like to have restless leg syndrome versus spasticity. Lord, I just ask that you comfort everyone who has been here today and seen this. Lord, I'll just allow everything to wash over people. Thank you for thank you for this time. Be with all of us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. I love you all and I will have a wonderful weekend. All right. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless you. Bye.